I've always used confession as a great tool in spirituality, and that authenticity you're talking about here, it's brought about by the ending of stories. Mm-hmm. In the example here that I was talking about earlier, in 1990, in 2010, off by 20 years, pardon. In 2010, a certain authenticity arose here, and that's what people could feel. And that's when I began to tell myself the truth, which is I noticed that I was not special. And it was important for me to not only notice that, but it was important for me to let others know that. And I've tried to do that ever since. It's tried to notice that I'm still human. And that's absolutely true, and still fallible. And, I could be telling myself stories would be better for them if they didn't know I was right. And that's just covering up for ego. That's just the explosion of ego. So to come out and tell, Glenda was there too, in the sense of telling almost an embarrassing story about yourself, or something that shows that you're not on top of the mountain. These things are important, and they're important to us, and they're important for others who hold us in high esteem. Because high esteem is okay. Respect is necessary for the teaching. That's the backdrop. But it doesn't mean, that doesn't make Fred special. It does make this teaching different. But by being willing to pull down all the egoic makeup, I'm thinking about like applying makeup, being willing to take the makeup off and show up as just a guy. That's what I have said that. I bet I've said that 1,000 times. Well, remember, there's still a guy here, right? Don't get too comfortable. There's still a guy here, and which means that I'm not actually the burning bush. There's a guy over here with a flashlight. Right? The confession of our own foibles is important to building that authenticity, and it has to come here first. I have to get to the point where I can believe me. And I couldn't believe me because I didn't give you any reason to believe me, and I'd never had any reason to believe. I stood for nothing. And you begin to this is going to sound terrible, but I'm just going to use the language anyway. You begin to stand as certain principles, and those principles have to be more important than ego. Mm-hmm. And honesty, self-honesty, has to become more important than ego. And I'm not going to be honest with myself if I'm not first honest with you. And I'm not going to be honest with you if I'm not first honest with myself. So it's hand in glove. All of that just goes together. But what this is all about here, what this teaching is all about, what this satsang is all about, is authentic honesty, true honesty, being honest with ourselves, being able to stand in a room and saying, I don't know anything, and not expect to be put on a pedestal for that, and not expect to be looked down upon for that, and not really caring too much one way or the other. And see, what you're doing is sharing your experience. If others get it, then fine. If they don't, okay. That's just, you let it all fall where it does.